Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to break down complex stories and give you the key insights fast.
And today, we are definitely diving deep into Formula One, specifically a really fascinating development.
Yeah, fascinating is one word for it. It involves Lewis Hamilton, his big move to Ferrari, and something quite startling in his contract.
Absolutely. Our goal here is to unpack this surprising detail that's really causing a stir. It could have huge implications, really massive, for both Hamilton and Ferrari.
And the source for this? We're looking at reports coming out of the Italian press, specifically La Gazzetta dello Sport, which were then detailed by soymotor.com. So let's get into what makes this situation so unique.
Okay, let's just lay it out. The big revelation is that Lewis Hamilton's contract reportedly has this special clause.
Right.
And it's not just, standard F1 contract stuff. This seems very different, particularly coming from a team like Ferrari with all their history.
Very different is maybe an understatement. So what does this special clause actually do?
Well, according to these reports, it gives Lewis Hamilton, get this, total freedom to decide if he stays with Ferrari for the 2027 season.
Total freedom, meaning, and this is the truly wild part, Ferrari, the team itself, apparently has zero decision power on that specific point. None.
Wait, so Ferrari can't decide if they want him for 2027? That completely flips the script, doesn't it?
Completely. We all heard the initial reports seemed like a standard 2-year deal through 2026, maybe with an option for one more year, the classic 2+1.
Yeah, that's what everyone assumed.
But this clarification suggests that plus 1 year, it's entirely solely Hamilton's call. He decides. Ferrari just has to live with it.
Wow. Okay, it begs the question why. I mean, why would Ferrari agree to that? A team that's always been about, being Ferrari.
That's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? And the reports do try to answer that. They say Ferrari's commitment, driven by President John Elkann, is firm.
Firm, okay. But firm enough to give away control like that. Apparently so. It goes beyond just hoping for race wins. Elkann reportedly authorized enormous sums for this deal. The thinking seems to be that Hamilton isn't just a driver. He's seen as a symbol of Formula One.
A symbol of F1. So we're talking huge commercial value, marketing impact, that kind of thing, beyond just the points he scores on Sunday.
Exactly that. Think global brand recognition, merchandise, new fans, sponsorships. Hamilton brings an audience and an aura that transcends the sport itself.
Right. His reach is massive.
So for Elkann, maybe the return on investment, even if it's just from the commercial side, justifies handing over this level of contractual control. It's a different kind of calculation.
Okay, that perspective helps frame it. But the reports also mention his, let's say, poor performance in the early races with Ferrari. How does that fit in?
Yeah, they don't ignore that. The reports state Ferrari plans to provide facilities, basically, support and car adjustments to help him find his form, get comfortable, push harder.
So they're still invested in his on-track success, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. They want him performing. But crucially, the reports suggest that even if he doesn't fully recapture that peak form, Ferrari won't be, quote, crying wolf. Meaning they expect the economic benefits, the marketing value, to be so significant that the deal still makes sense for them, regardless of his championship position. It's like they've hedged their bets, in a way.
Paying for the Hamilton effect as much as the Hamilton driving. But still, that clause, the sources call it brutal and very risky for Ferrari. Why use such strong words?
Well, because it is brutal from a team perspective. You've essentially given your star asset the ultimate power over their own tenure, regardless of circumstances.
Yeah.
It reminds you of that comment from Günther Steiner recently, suggesting Hamilton's the only F1 driver above the teams.
I remember that. Controversial take.
Very. And the source commentator actually disagrees, believing Ferrari as an institution is always bigger than any driver. But they concede that Elkann, by giving Hamilton the keys like this, might inadvertently be proving Steiner right in this one specific case.
Giving him the keys to Ferrari. That's quite the image. It feels like a fundamental shift in power dynamics.
It really does. It challenges that whole team-first mantra that Ferrari, maybe more than any other team, embodies.
So let's look ahead. With this clause hanging out there, what are the possible ways this plays out? We can map out a few scenarios, can't we?
Definitely. Scenario 1, the dream scenario for Ferrari, I suppose. Hamilton finds his feet. He clicks with the team, the car. Maybe he's battling Leclerc hard this year.
Right.
And then, especially with the big regulation changes next year, he's fully adapted, happy, performing at his peak again.
And in that case?
In that positive scenario, he chooses to activate that 2027 option. He stays, the partnership works both on and off track. Everyone's happy.
Okay, the optimistic view. But there's always a but, isn't there? Yeah. What if things don't click?
Exactly. What if, despite Ferrari tweaking the car, giving him all the support, he just never quite gels with the team or the car's philosophy? What if his performance stays, let's say, solid but not spectacular through this year and next?
This is where that clause becomes really problematic for Ferrari, right?
Hugely problematic. This is their potential nightmare. If he's underperforming by their standards, maybe not matching Leclerc, maybe not consistently fighting at the very front, but he holds the power.
What can they do?
Nothing. If he decides he wants to stay for 2027, they could be stuck. Imagine them fighting for a constructor's title in 27, needing every single point, and having a driver who isn't delivering top results, but who they contractually cannot replace.
That sounds like, as the source puts it, a potential big mess. Internal tension, strategic headaches.
All of that. It could seriously compromise their championship ambitions and future planning.
Okay, now flip it. What if Hamilton decides it's not working out and he wants to leave after 2026?
Yeah.
Where does the 7-time champ go then?
Well, the reports are pretty clear on this. More than half the grid would likely kill for him.
Still, even if the Ferrari stint wasn't perfect.
Absolutely. You don't just forget 7 titles, 105 wins, 104 poles. He's a legend. And maybe even more importantly, in today's F1, his marketing power is just off the charts.
Unparalleled, yeah.
Any team signing him gets an instant global spotlight, huge commercial interest. Even if he's not quite peak Hamilton on track, the overall value proposition is immense. He'd have options. Plenty of options.
That brings up another point the sources touch on. Timing. If he did decide to leave, when might he announce it? They mentioned that 2021 situation with Mercedes.
Yes, the late contract confirmation. He only signed for 2021 in February, right before testing started. There was some definite push and pull there.
So could he do something similar to Ferrari? A late announcement as a sort of power play, a jab, as the source suggests.
He absolutely could, theoretically. Announcing a departure very late, say just before preseason testing for 2027, would leave Ferrari completely high and dry.
Oh, so?
The driver market would be settled, all the top drivers locked down, they'd be scrambling to find a replacement, likely having to settle for someone not on their initial list. It would be strategically crippling.
A parting shot, enabled by that very clause.
Precisely. It would be the ultimate flex of the power Ferrari gave him.
It really paints a picture of a high-wire act for the team. The source speculates he probably won't retire this year, though.
No, that seems unlikely. The suggestion is he should wait, see out next year, his second year there, see how the new 2026 regulations shake things up.
Give it a proper chance, essentially. See if it's the current car or a deeper incompatibility.
Exactly. It's only fair to himself and the team to assess things after the landscape potentially shifts quite dramatically with new rules. Then he can make a truly informed call about 2027 or beyond.
So, wrapping this part up, if these reports from La Gazzetta dello Sport are on the money, Ferrari has taken a monumental gamble.
Monumental is the right word. By granting Hamilton this unilateral power over 2027, they've created a situation with enormous potential upside, yes, but also significant downside risk. It could become that big mess regardless of how well or poorly he performs.
It's this fascinating clash. Ferrari's huge financial and symbolic investment versus one driver's unprecedented level of contractual freedom.
The consequences could ripple through the team, the championship fight, the whole driver market for years to come. It's a story that's definitely got legs. We'll be watching very, very closely.
Time will absolutely tell if this high-stakes bet pays off for Maranello.
Indeed it will.
We've just unpacked Lewis Hamilton's really quite extraordinary Ferrari contract clause. So here's something for you to think about. What does this very unique power balance this superstar athlete holding such sway over an iconic, historically dominant team? Tell us about where elite sports might be heading. Is this a sign of individual athlete brands becoming even more powerful than the institutions they represent, well beyond just F1? Something to ponder.